So this video is actually going to be kind of different because what I'll be doing is technically just not rant, sorry. I'm always ranting, I'm sorry. Today I'll basically be talking about Evan Winter. He's an author that I really came across recently. I love Evan Winter. Evan Winter is so good. I have come to really appreciate this guy. He is the artist that we all want to be, because back when he was not published, he wrote this book, Rage of Dragons, and it was really difficult to publish because it wasn't the sort of book that you get published easily, okay? And so what ended up happening is that, Evan Winter, they refused to publish his book, and he self-published his book. And he became the artist that didn't really want to give into the system. Basically, he's the artist every artist thinks of themselves, but almost every artist basically gets subjugated by the system. There are few artists who really break through and who fix the, who basically make the system work for them, rather than them working for the system. And this is Evan Winter. Evan Winter is the real artist. He is the artist that doesn't really wield down. He is that, sort of tough, doesn't look back at the explosion action guy, and he is really awesome. I love him. One of the things that I love about his world building is something that he gets criticized for, and it is something that a lot of fantasy authors don't do, and it has to do with flawed human world building. So basically the way it goes is you world build a human world that makes sense with emotions and tribalism, rather than world building that makes sense cohesively. Most fantasy authors world build cohesively. In other words, the worlds that they're building make cohesive sense. But Evan Winter is different. In fact, he's substantially different. His world for the Rage of Dragons doesn't really make sense cohesively. It only makes sense when you take into account tribalism, okay? When you take into account resources and resource scarcity and people trying to survive and making sure that your, dear family is perfectly capable of surviving. So it means that they will be sacrificing other people's families. I love the Omehi people for this particular reason. I think they're freaking demons. I think they're monsters. But, this is a particular reason why I love them, because they are deeply flawed people. They are presented as the heroes, right? Because, we have the story from their perspective. They see themselves as the heroes, but in reality, they really are the monsters. They are the definition of the monster, and they don't see that. And I love that. It really takes a skilled, adept writer to put this together. I don't know in 1,000 billion years how they never wanted to publish him. This is the problem with any established system of power. They eventually just settle down into, okay, so this worked before, so we need more of this. Like if something works, we need more of it. No, we need the good stuff and we need to get rid of the bad stuff. So it takes skill to recognize the good stuff and to get rid of the bad stuff. And this means as a publisher or as an agent, it's your job to really find the good stuff. Even if the good stuff basically disassembles all the established norms, and at least a good chunk of the established norms, which Evan Winter happens to do. So there you go. I really love Evan Winter for his courageous character and his world building. Another aspect that I really appreciate about him is his magic systems, okay? Now, his magic systems are by no means unique, but they are well integrated into the story. There are rarely few, if any, magic systems out there that are so well integrated into the story as if to be used for character internal development. There are different types of character development. You have external character development, you have, internal character development. And this particular one is, a negative character arc for Tao. Tao gets, for the protagonist from Rage of Dragons, he slowly becomes obsessed with revenge for the murder of his father. It's not a spoiler, don't worry about it. Now, eventually what we end up seeing is that slowly Tao becomes crazier and crazier and crazier. And this decline of his sanity and his obsession with revenge is further boosted by the Isi Hogo, which is this particular dimension in the Rage of Dragons story, where you can go there, you can practice against demons, but careful, if you really die in there, you risk going crazy, okay? So the magic, in other words, the fantastical elements of the story are used to tell the character development and internal character development specifically. This is beautiful. This is something that I love. I've talked about many times before with Boromir from the Fellowship of the Rings. We have the ring corrupting Boromir. In fact, I talked about this before in a video. We have the last season, sorry, the 5th season in N.K. Jemisin's Broken Earth books, where we have the Maya, and the magic and the fantastical elements are used in order to tell a thematically rich, deeply well-developed story. Okay, this shuts up literary snobs. Evan Winter shuts up the literary snobs so hard. It's really just a masterful work from this guy. I love that he uses fantasy in order to actually tell a beautiful literary story with corruption. His plots are not really the most intricate, they are not the craziest, they are not the best in the fantasy genre, but it doesn't have to be, because holistically, Evan Winter is one of the cleanest authors. Yes, he's one of the cleanest authors that I have found. His prose, clean. His character work, clean. His world building, clean. His character, clean. Himself as a person, clean. He's super handsome. And then, man, this guy is just clean, all right? Evan Winter is clean, 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 clean. So I do really recommend that you check out Evan Winter. I think he is the most important self-published author. And number 2, I think he is the self-published dream. He is the self-published dream. He is the artistic dream, okay? Because he's the renegade who never gave a damn. But now they're sucking his, you know what I mean, right? Yes. So they are begging him for more books now. But before they refused him. And he showed them that he's above them. He showed them. He was so good they could not ignore him. Evan Winter is the god of clean writing, okay? He's just the cleanest author around, okay? I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was just a fun discussion. Have a nice day.